Automated Fulfillment Network. Fulfillment networks in Alma allow your patrons to request resources directly from another institution in the network. Now you can add your fulfillment member institutions as resource-sharing partners in Alma, allowing them to join the rota. This allows for the new Automated Fulfillment Network workflow. To understand this workflow, let's first look at the two existing workflows for requesting from another institution. The first existing workflow is the Fulfillment Network. Our patron is from West University, and the resource is in East University. East University is a fulfillment member, so our patron can directly place a hold request via Primo for the item in East University. East University Alma handles this as a regular patron hold request, communicating directly with our patron. The advantage here is that West University Alma and staff don't need to do anything. The disadvantage is that if East University cannot fulfill the request, it is cancelled, and then it is up to the patron to place a new request from a different institution. The second existing workflow is resource sharing. In this workflow, East University is a resource-sharing partner of West University. Our patron places a borrowing request via Primo for the item, so now Alma handles this as a borrowing request. Following its rota, Alma locates the resource in East University and sends a borrowing request. East University handles the request communicating with West University Alma, so there is a slight disadvantage here with West University Alma serving as an intermediary between East University and the patron. The advantage is that if East University cannot fulfill the request, West University Alma can send it to the next institution in the rota. Now finally, we get to our third and new workflow, Automated Fulfillment Network, which is a hybrid of the previous two. In this workflow, East University is both a fulfillment member and a resource-sharing partner. So we start off with the patron placing a borrowing request via Primo for the item. West University Alma sends a resource-sharing borrowing request to East University since East University is a resource-sharing partner. But now, since East University is also a Fulfillment Network member, this request is actually a regular patron hold request, so East University responds directly to the patron. So we get both advantages. If the request is approved, West University Alma no longer needs to handle the request. If the request is rejected, West University will send it to the next member in the rota. Now that you are familiar with the new workflow, here are the new configurations you need to make. First, create locate profiles for your fulfillment members. Second, create resource sharing partners for your fulfillment members. And third, add the newly created partners to your rota. So let's take a look at this in Alma. We will assume you already have fulfillment members. You can see them under Alma menu, General Configuration menu, Fulfillment Member. In our case, we are member 2 University and our co-member is member 1. What we need to do now is add member 1 as a resource sharing partner. So first we need to create a locate profile for member 1. Go to Alma menu, Fulfillment Configuration menu, Locate Profiles. To add a new locate profile, click Add Locate Profile. In my case, a fulfillment network profile for member 1 already exists. Let's look at the settings. Give the locate profile a name and a description. And here's the new and important part, the type must be fulfillment network. Then in the Locate Profile Parameters tab, enter the server, port, username and password, and the Alma institution ID of your fulfillment member, the same ID that appears in their login URL. When done, click Save. And now it's time for step 2, create a resource sharing partner for this fulfillment member. So go to Alma menu, Resource Sharing Partners. To add a partner, click Add Partner. In my case, a resource sharing partner for fulfillment member 1 already exists. Let's take a look at the settings. Give it a code and a name, and here's the important part, the profile type has to be fulfillment network. And the system type must be Alma. Other configurations are as usual. In the Parameters tab, enter the customer code and the URL, including port. This is the same information you entered in the locate profile. When done, click Save. And now that we've created this resource sharing partner, The last step is to add it to the desired rota, so that's under Alma menu, Rota Templates. And here under Rota Main, this is the name of my particular rota. If we go to Actions, Edit, we can check under Template Members, and you can see that here we've already added our resource sharing partner, Fulfillment Member 1. So if it's not here, you select it here under Partner and click Add Partners. So this concludes the configurations you need to make in Alma to get your automated fulfillment network working. Note that all of these configurations are on the borrowing side. The lending side doesn't require any additional configurations for this workflow. Now that we're all set up, let's demonstrate the workflow in action. Our story can begin in Primo when the patron initiates the request via the Get It tab. When the automated fulfillment network is configured, we have the following delivery information in the Get It tab. Preferred local pickup location. This is the library in the patron's own institution, in our case West University, where they would like to pick up the item. Note that this local library is actually a fallback option because Alma will first prefer to deliver the item to the preferred pickup institution. In our case, we've selected East University, the university where the item is located. The preferred pickup institution can be any institution in the fulfillment network. Preferred pickup location is the library within the preferred institution. And finally, Allow Other Library means that if delivery to the preferred location is impossible, another library within the preferred institution will be chosen. So this is what the patron sees if they initiate the request in Primo. Alternatively, the story can begin in Alma when you initiate a borrowing request on behalf of the patron. Here we are in the Alma of Member 2 institution, and we will create a borrowing request for our patron Jane Smith for a resource located in Member 1 institution. So go to Alma menu, Borrowing Requests. Now let's add a new request from Search, and search for a title that we know appears in the Member 1 institution. So let's search in our Network tab. And here's our title. Go. And our book is Cold Morning Sky, held by Training Member 1. Select. Now let's add our patron's name on whose behalf we're creating the request, Jane Smith. And now we have a new option here, Preferred Pickup Institution, so Jane can pick it up in the Member 1 institution if she would like to. And the preferred pickup location is the library, let's say the main library in the Member 1 institution. And Allow Other Library means that the Member 1 institution, if they can't deliver it to main library, they can deliver it to a different library in their institution. Now here as well, we have the preferred local pickup location, which is the fallback location in case the preferred pickup institution is not an option for delivery. So in my setup, I don't need to add a rota because Alma automatically selects the default rota according to the rules we have configured. So we can save the request. Now the request has been created. You can see that our partner is Fulfillment Member 1, requester Jane Smith, and we can now locate the resource or immediately send the request. Let's send it. And our request status is now request sent to partner. So now let's go and see what happens on the lending side in the Member 1 institution. So here we are in Member 1 institution. This is the lending side that receives the borrowing request. Only because we're a fulfillment member, the request won't go to our resource sharing workbench. Rather, if we're at the main library, it will simply be in our pick from shelf list as it is handled as any hold requests. So pick from shelf list, and let's look at requests from today. We'll filter by today, and here we have the request Cold Morning Sky. This is the request that came in on behalf of Jane Smith from the Member 2 institution. We'll go into the request, and our requester is Jane Smith. Note that Jane Smith is not really a patron of Member 1 institution. Rather, this is a linked user that's created in Member 1 based on Jane Smith's information from the Member 2 institution, right? Our home institution. So that's the user. Let's get this barcode and scan it in. Okay. And the title is now on the hold shelf, awaiting for Jane Smith to pick it up. Now, since this request was handled as a regular hold request and not a lending request, let's go back to the borrowing side and see what's happening there. So here we are back in member 2 in the borrowing side. Let's see what happened to our request. Alma menu, borrowing requests. And the request is no longer active. We don't see it here in the list because it's already completed. Since it's no longer a lending request, it's a simple hold request in member 1 institutions. So as far as member 2 is concerned, the request is complete and the workflow is over. Let's just look at our completed requests. And here indeed we can see Jane Smith's request with the request status completed by partner fulfillment member 1. So in this workflow, our institution, member 2, has finished its part in the workflow as soon as the request was approved by member 1, and member 1 directly contacted Jane Smith to let her know that her item is ready for pickup. And that's it for Automated Fulfillment Network. Thanks for joining us.